Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Emily, and we've been in our van for going on 5 years.
This content is sponsored by Outdoorsy. Through Outdoorsy, you can rent your camper van out to make extra cash, and you can rent a van to try van life before you commit.
So we bought a 2014 high roof 144 Sprinter. Finished construction Christmas Day of 2016, and we've been out here ever since.
All right, so we're standing in the kitchen, and I really like to cook, so I was actually going for as much as we could in a small space. So we do have a 2-burner induction cooktop, which is super nice. We use it primarily for more shorter cook items, like a grilled cheese or an egg sandwich. It's not a huge energy hog. We've just gotten more accustomed to using our 2-burner propane cooktop. So we have this awesome convection oven, which we really don't use at all. However, it has earned its keep. We use it as storage. It can also be extra countertop when I'm cooking. With the double doors, which is a feature, we didn't know at first how lucky we were to have found a van with the double doors, but it turns out to be probably one of our favorite aspects of the van. So everything we do, we can access from the outside. We chose the isotherm fridge. One, it was probably one of the largest cubic feet that we could find to fit this space, and it is proving to be a really good purchase. You find these actually on sailboats, so they are definitely time tested, and 12 volt makes it very compatible with our electrical setup. Over here we have our kitchen sink. This doubles as a cutting board when we need it. And then this little table right here flips up and just does a quick little pivot here. And this is where we actually do most of our cooking. We have a double burner propane stove. We do have storage under what we call the dog perch. We sure wish we could get our current dog to sleep on this wonderful bed. But she chooses to sleep with us in our very tiny bed. The lid right here flips up. We store our pots and pans, and we store our stove and some other things too.
When we bought the van, I was planning on building this myself, and then after a short time of getting started, I realized that I was probably going to need a little help. And 2 of my friends were the perfect candidates. They were great carpenters, so they helped me out with all this nice woodwork, and they've done a lot of finishings in here that you won't see in too many vans, where people have taken the time to finish out each piece and trimmed it in such a nice way. We've got a little medicine cabinet here. They made a little cutting board top for the sink. This is an oak countertop, nothing too fancy there, but I couldn't have done it this well myself, and we probably still wouldn't be living in it if I had done it. So I think any van's a challenge to build, but I think ours was particularly challenging because we wanted it for 4 seasons. We wanted to ski in it every winter. We wanted to mountain bike out of it in the rest of the year. We've got our sink in here. We've also got our water heater in here, our shower. We've got a 6-pound propane tank in here that we use just for hot water and for cooking on our propane stove, which sometimes I like to do out here. It's not too windy. For storage, we have a lot of it. We've got storage all over the van. I really like the way that this turned out. We've got plenty of room for nuts and whatever else we want to put up here, coffee supplies and whatnot. We liked this open look rather than putting any doors on, and everything stays secure as long as you keep it nice and tight and make sure you have it fully packed. All we needed was this little bungee to hold things in place. In terms of infrastructure, we have an S-bar furnace. It's got almost 10,000 hours on it. It's had some problems, but when it's working, it's a champ. Our monitor for our batteries, for our solar, and then a remote for the inverter if we want to use some charge our laptops or something like that. And then this is just a little gadget that connects to the 12-volt fridge to make it a little more efficient. We have the fantastic fan vent from Dometic. It's a fantastic product. We've been running it for 4.5 years now, no problems whatsoever. So I'm really pleased with that. 14 speeds in, 14 speeds out. It's got a rain sensor. Really dig that thing. We got a CR Lawrence window that works really well in conjunction with the fan to bring air in and out, makes it nice and cool in here on a hot summer day when we're mountain biking and the dog's in here. We've got some storage up here, nothing too fancy, but good little place to put, you know, winter coats and shades for the windows. So in a 144, there's not a whole lot of room in here, so having the ability to swivel both seats made a huge difference. We have 18 different LED lights in here. These are all on a dimmer switch, which is pretty cool. Nice soft light that will really dim down to almost nothing and then go up to bright enough that you could, you know, do some surgery in here if you needed to.
Maybe something that you don't see in all the vans, if you've been in the market and looking at vans or just like to follow van life, is the ability to sit up in bed. And this was actually kind of an ongoing debate that Joe and I had, and I think I finally convinced him that with the bed area being half of our living space, to me it was super important to be able to stand up straight. Now you'll notice we actually have some extra room because we're full-time in the van. It was important to have a lot of storage. So we are looking at here 4 cabinets which open and allow for us to keep basically all 4 seasons of our clothes and additional things tucked away. This laser cut of the mountain scene gets a lot of attention. It's one of the first things if somebody is taking a peek inside that someone might notice. And it was actually done by a young woman, a small business owner in our hometown. Joe had seen a really small version of the same mountain scene. This is a keychain. And she was obviously able just to program it to do it larger. So we provided her the 4 cabinet doors and she just ran them through. So we were super excited that that worked out because it's this beautiful piece of artwork and really defines a big part of the inside space. I think I had mentioned, so we are on a full-size bed. However, in order to get it to fit and to give ourselves a little bit more room in the kitchen and living space, we did cut off about 8 to 9 inches of the mattress, and this at night we just lay down here flat and the oven helps to keep it in place. So then we do have a full-size bed. We would be the first to admit that we haven't found the perfect mattress yet. So now we're on some kind of Japanese floor mat with a 2-inch gel topper, and it's good. We both like firm mattresses. We like it better than the foam mattress combinations that we've had in the past. Yeah, we'd still like to find that perfect mattress, and now we're kind of leaning towards latex.
So when we were looking for these vans, they were going pretty quick and we missed out on a couple of them. And I bought this one sight unseen just from some photographs I saw. It was a cargo van for the first 2 years. They had driven it for about 25,000 miles. And one pleasant surprise was this second door. Having this extra slider door on the driver's side has been the best thing that we could have ever asked for. So it was a little bit difficult to build it out without any kind of structure here on this side. But as you can see, it worked out pretty well. We've got storage for shoes here. We've got ventilation for our refrigerator, and then we have really good access to our pantry from both the outside of the van and the inside of the van, which makes it a little more efficient when you go into the grocery store. And then I really like the way the guys fixed this up. It was really tricky to find a way to make that look attractive from both sides, and they figured it out. So for us, this trip is more about recreation than anything else. We love to be outside, mountain biking, skiing, stuff like that. So this was a really important area for us to be able to store our gear and to be able to provide all the infrastructure from plumbing, electric, and things like that. We added the bike tray, and that's kind of a nice feature to have it come out like that. If I had to do it all over again, I think I'd save myself the money on the sliders and just put, you know, good mounts in and just slide them in myself without having the slider drawer. All of our bike stuff goes on one tray, and then we've got our camping gear, some climbing gear, some canyoneering stuff. One thing that we didn't think about was laundry. We have plenty of room in our cabinets, but we didn't think about a place to put our dirty laundry. So Don't forget about that. For plumbing, we've got a 25-gallon freshwater tank, and we've got a fill valve here, a little vent here. If I had to do this all over again too, I think even though we've lived in it for more than 4 years, I think it would be simpler to just have cans. A lot easier to fill. You don't have to go looking for a threaded bib in order to fill the thing. We also have all of our electric back here. I have the inverter and the charge controller underneath that guard, and then you can see our 12-volt fuse block and the AC. So in terms of electric, our solar, we have 300-watt panels on the roof. They're very low profile, which is nice. They're taped on using 3M VHB tape. A lot of people are skeptical and a little fearful of using that method, but we are 120,000 miles in, more than 4 years, through some very extreme weather conditions and almost no coverage during that time, and they're still holding tight. So for batteries, we went with AGM because we were planning on being in cold weather climates, a little bit skeptical of being able to use the lithium, and we ended up with two 6-volt 250 amp hour AGM batteries, which has been plenty for us.
Thanks for joining us on our tour, and if we can be helpful to you, if you're just getting started or thinking about it, please do let us know. We've definitely enjoyed our home on wheels.
Yeah, we've found some epic campsites in the last 5 years, so if you see us out there, watch us on Instagram. We're Permanent Road Trip, and if you see us nearby and you want to find a good spot, come join us.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you hadn't noticed, we do sell an ebook for how to convert a van. It has over 190 pages of detailed instructions and diagrams, also 25 video tutorials which are specifically for the ebook buyer. Creating a van for many people is obviously a really intimidating project, but I really believe, and I've seen it time and time and time again, that with the right information, anyone can turn out with a pretty decent van conversion. So check the link in the description, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and drop us a comment if you like this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.